And so too is our observer, Funkadelic.
Oh,
He would be the eyes of the match.
I'm ready for some Funka observing, man.
I'm pretty stoked for it myself. Funka, of course, not exclusively a world-class observer. He's also a very respected French commentator. And speaks very highly of his local scene back at home.
If only I would be able to understand Funka's lovely French accent.
Apparently Parisian fans are the best in the world, according to Funkadelic. I've got some Canadian fans that might beg to differ. But
hopefully after this weekend we can talk about an awesome American audience as well, man. But it's starting to look very good already, because if you just look into the scene, it looks good.
No, couldn't agree more, Kev. Spotting in the bottom right-hand corner of Akalon Wastes, the red Protoss player. His name is Liquid Hero.
There's the Funka zoom.
Boom.
I was a little worried there.
He's all over it, man. His opponent up in the top left-hand corner of the map. The blue Protoss player looking to show a better series than he has in Seasons 2 and 3. His name is SOS.
I'm so stoked, man, because it's actually the first time that I'm casting SOS, and I've stayed up so many nights to watch this guy play in Pro League. Our old colleague Frodian was actually a big fan of SOS back in the days, and he kept telling me, he's like, Roddy, you have to watch SOS. He's like, I know that you're crazy about the rain, but trust me, watch SOS. He's one of the best Protosses in the Pro League, if not the best. I said, damn, no one is better than Rain. But then when I started watching a little more of SOS, I was like, damn, this man is indeed absolutely crazy. And he finished with one of the best records in Pro League behind Flash and Innovation. I think it was even slightly better than Sulky. So, you know, man, it's PvP. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. For the people who have not been following PvP lately, you're in for a wild ride.
Yeah, no telling what's going to happen. What we can tell you is that SOS, he has not played many WCS games on Akalon Waste, only a few. Only 2 PvPs, in fact, but he has won them both. And as Roddy has already pointed out, Akalon Waste is Hero's second most played map. And he has a nice 8-3 record on it in PvP, so both these players, theoretically,
83?
8-3. 8 wins, 3 losses.
I thought 83%. I was like, wow, that's actually insane. But
no.
Yeah, 83 is still very good. That's above 66%.
Yeah. 8 and 2 would be 67%, right? I don't know. Math's hard. I should know better than to get into this.
Yes.
8 and 2 would be 75%, right?
So far the openings are very identical, as nothing crazy has happened yet. SOS is scouting for proxies. Hero is doing the same thing on the other side of the map. Every now and then you still see pros players not scout in the early game. They just want to save every single mineral they can. This is especially when they try to go for crazy builds like maybe a 10 or 11 gate opening, but that is not the case so far. Second gate going down in the main base of Hero. Hero is, you know, no stranger to a 3-stalker opening. He likes to add an additional gate as well, actually put on 3-gate pressure, but that's something that's very hard to call for now.
Yeah, thus far it's just scouting going down really for both players. SOS going to waltz right up into the main base of Hero, where he's going to see that second gateway. He's going to see no chrono boost being used at all, which is an interesting observation, I suppose. Now we're going to see Hero beginning to chrono boost his warp gate technology.
Twilight going down in the main base of SOS. This can mean many things in this phase of the game. Looking at it, since he's producing a second Stalker, I believe, as well. Actually, no, it was Sentry into Stalker. This could definitely be a Dark Templar opening by SOS. Hero on the other end, I'm feeling perhaps a little more like Blink Stalkers, as he has the double gateway opening as well. He's opening up with multiple Stalkers. It could be Blink Stalkers on either way, which would be a good scenario for SOS, as if they would clash in the middle of the map and SOS's Blink would be slightly quicker, he might be able to get that small window where he has the fight, where Blink finished up and his opponent won't have Blink, but we will see.
He's still got the single Sentry out. I'm kind of thinking, no, it is going to be Blink. We'll go ahead and start up. He's going to chase away the Stalker of Hero and leave him with no information at all. Hero, of course, starting Blink as well, right behind this. Akalon is one of the more common Blink maps, I suppose.
Yes, Derelict is a good Blink map as well. That's why I'm very surprised that Hero decided to veto Derelict if he likes Blink Stalkers. As we can see, both players are going up to 3 gateways and Blink, so we're having a mirror matchup so far, which excites me, Ben. That means no build order advantage on either side. You could say maybe a minor advantage for SOS, because his Blink is going to be a little bit quicker, but it's really not much of a difference. This would be a massive scout for SOS, but...
Stalker gives chase, but that probe will be shot down. And Hero also finding the pylon out on the map, so a small victory, I suppose. ultimately...
Hallucinated Phoenix being used by SOS. That's nice for him that he has a sentry, as Hero didn't make a sentry. He's going to have to scout with his mothership core, which I think is entering the main base. This is a nice little stalker engagement where SOS should win. SOS, the scout is going down over here, and I think that Hero's mothership core is in the main base of SOS.
Yes, it is. It actually picks up a couple of probe kills before... oh my gosh, he's going to get a third probe? Nope, going to recall out of there before using too much more energy. Hero also catching one of SOS's stalkers out on the map. Neither player has blink finish up, so this stalker could go down. But no, Hero's actually going to just walk straight into the main base of SOS. Now he has his mothership core back at home, so he does not have high ground vision, but he doesn't need it. He walks right up the ramp into the main base, and Hero has a small stalker advantage.
SOS could use photon overcharge if he wants, and that's exactly what he does, which I don't think is a wrong decision at all. He has one probe more out on the map, but most of his stalkers were out of position. Hero dropping a pilot there, at least thinking about it, and then he's like, if this is blink versus blink, I should probably not be over-aggressive, and I'm just going to back off for now.
Very smart play from Hero. He's going to begin producing a few immortals, which should give him...
These stalkers are kind of caught between a rock and a hard place.
Well, it's going to be caught between an immortal and a bunch of stalkers.
Which is harder than a rock.
But fortunately, SOS can blink out into the low ground. There's the immortal.
I think I'm a stalker. Nothing wrong with that. At the same time, we can still see SOS taking more and more map control as well. The stalkers from Hero are terribly out of position. Hero might be in a little bit of trouble, Ben. Okay, you saw the forward blink on the minimap as well. Hero blinks back immediately, and that's a good call, because if those stalkers would have been sandwiched between the other stalkers from SOS, now it's getting really complicated. But it's not, guys. It's just more stalkers for SOS.
SOS drops his Nexus. Hero makes 2 immortals. I'm wondering if he's going to try to push across the map.
He's sending out the probe as well, and he has the minerals for a Nexus, so I think he's going to drop one. Even though he just walked in 3 additional stalkers, might be a fake probe.
We're going to see stalkers have found this isolated group of Hero stalkers, and this is problematic. He does have to blink. Oh, but now he's going to force it back. Good. Oh, wow. Awesome aggressive blink there by Hero. He picks off 2 stalkers immediately. He's going to lose a couple as well, but with his immortals in the mix, SOS cannot fight, and he has to retreat back home.
That was so smart by Hero, the way he used those side blockers, so he got 2 additional shots up with the immortal and kept his stalkers alive. Very well played by Hero. SOS going to have to blink back again. Oh my god, Hero having the offensive pilot over here as well. But still, against photon overcharge, I know immortals are amazing, but actually, Hero's army is quite a bit bigger now than the army of SOS.
Massive army, and photon overcharge will be helpful, but how much so? Pylon getting picked off, and Hero, he's actually losing a couple stalkers. His warp end is in range of photon overcharge. He's just going to focus down the Nexus.
Which might be possible, but still, this is going to get very close regardless, as Hero's going to have to fight 2 armies at the same time. He's doing a very good job so far. The Nexus is, all the shields are down. The Nexus taking some real damage as well. SOS needs to go all out right now to save the Nexus.
Some really impressive micro from Hero as he pushes forward onto the stalkers of SOS. SOS's army is melting away, and Hero will get the Nexus.
He should focus the stalkers a little bit better. There's so many low HP stalkers over here for Hero that, yes, he gets the Nexus, but at what cost? He might actually lose a lot of expensive units over here.
He's going to focus down SOS's immortal, but it's going to be a costly one, as a lot of these stalkers are taking heavy damage. Hero does blink onto the immortal and pick it up, but in the wake of this, Hero falls to 39 supply against 50. Giving SOS a pretty substantial army advantage. 22 army supply to 18. Hero is, of course, frantically warping in reinforcements back at home. Was that worth it, becomes the question.
Such a hard call. Such a hard call. Super even game. I would say maybe it was, because does SOS have a window to do some counter-aggressive, counter-pressure? I mean, if he decides to only make stalkers now, that's a super risky investment, because if those stalkers won't pay for themselves, he is stuck with a lot of stalkers. I think it was worth it for Hero in the long run, but it was a risky move.
Yeah, he lost a lot in comparison. But at the same time, will have his Nexus slightly faster. Income tab shows us that SOS does have a few more probes than Hero.
The Forge is going down in the main base as well from SOS, so he perhaps looking starting to get some upgrades going in Hero as well. So despite the crazy opening, I think we're going to look at a relatively even game, and we're going to turn this into a macro game. Now I know that SOS has always been a massive fan of Immortal Archon. That's just been his thing. I would be surprised to see him go up to Colossus very quickly. Hero, on the other hand, has shown us multiple times he does like to tack up to Colossus ASAP.
He likes to play it kind of old school. Is that the second robo for SOS?
No, that's the first one.
Okay.
Well, that would be crazy, man.
That would be super crazy. So he is going to continue just creating immortals off of that one robo. SOS, what are you thinking right now?
I hope he's not thinking about breaking into the main base, as Hero has plenty of stocks to deal with it, even though You know, Hero could still blink, because if SOS goes for the forward blink, he's going to try it. Nah, he's just going to microwave, which I think is smart.
Hero's stalkers are kind of low though, Kev.
Yeah, all of the stalkers are kind of
I
low.
guess
But stalkers are going to be expendable as we're entering a phase of the game where both players will stabilize. They're going to get immortals, they're going to get zealots. Early game, every single stalker is worth its weight in gold. In this phase of the game, you can already start thinking about recycling those stalkers out. And there we go, RoboBay going down for Hero.
Yep, exactly what we were talking about. He will go on up to Colossus Tech. SOS continuing to just build immortals and get upgrades. We haven't seen a Templar Archives yet.
No, but I think it's just a matter of time. I mean, maybe he's going to drop the RoboBay as well. And we were slightly wrong, but
he's got so much gas, Kev.
Yeah, which is good for high Templars. I mean, for Colossus as well. That actually was.
It's good for high-tech units.
Yes. It's good for expensive units.
It's good for things that aren't Zards.
Yeah, so that's what you're going to do with all. Yeah, it's 500 gas in the bank. He does, of course, have the Twilight console already, because they both open up with Blink, so they can immediately start researching +2 as well, if they like. Going for Immortal drop in this phase of the game is very risky, as both players have Blink Stalkers, and it will be Photon Overcharge as well. Then goes the RoboBay for SOS, which is much later than the RoboBay of Hero. Perhaps SOS was very worried about the state of the game that he was in. Of course, he doesn't have the information that we have. So perhaps he didn't know that this game was as even as it was, and he felt he had to play it safe with multiple immortals. Okay, he's going up to 3 bases quicker.
That's interesting. Yeah, Hero's third Nexus is not much slower, as we see him drop the third almost at the same time. Colossus count by default is going to favor Hero here. We'll see if he chooses to add in a second Robo, and when he chooses to do that. Nice scout here from Hero, sees what's going on his opponent's side of the base. SOS doing the same. Crazy how even this game is after the openings.
Hero dropping the Templar Archives already as well. This is something that's quite characteristic of him. Hero likes to kind of get all the tech at once. So I often feel, if you open up with Colossus, why not go double Robo? Of course, that does make you vulnerable for the Tempest transition, which is very popular these days.
Hero never got extended thermal lands.
I think it's a fake. And he's not actually going to make Colossus. Maybe he just wants to make a single Colossus to deal with Zealots. Yeah, that's a good pickup there, man. I didn't see that. Which I find it weird that my Hero, like, why do you open up with Colossus in the first place? Maybe, to catch your opponent off guard.
A little extra safety, perhaps, as we see SOS trying to be a little annoying, but he's not going to stick around for long. Hero able to shoo that aggression away very quickly.
Stalkers over Hero, so even when SOS army is slightly bigger, doesn't mean that much. And we all know that Hero loves the good old sacrifice with 4 big Stalkers. You can see the first Archons being morphed in as well. This Protoss army is going to get quite scary, but we're also entering a phase in the game where it is so hard to attack in PvP right now.
Yeah, Hero is going to move out on the map. He's got much less supply than SOS, Kev. Now, the army supply 53 to 62, that's not a huge difference, but in PvP it should be enough of one that neither side would really want to fight.
He is going to have the Archons, which are going to soak up a lot of damage. That's going to be nice, but I do think that SOS should be more than fine. That's a big warp in over there for Hero, though. I think what Hero is looking for, Ben, is just a snipe on that third base, then recall out, as he just dropped down multiple cannons at home.
SOS is going to help him tear down those rocks, it looks like.
He's like, oh, you want to fight? Cool, let's do it.
Oh, a single Stalker is going to try to be annoying. He might get a couple of probe kills. Meanwhile, Hero is going to break through these rocks, and does he go for the attack?
That Warp Prism is a big threat as well. SOS definitely has to worry about that Warp Prism. Oh, it got picked up in the main base.
Down. Great catch there from SOS. Hero's going to go ahead and push into this third base, but SOS is on it and backs off immediately. Great control for SOS. Takes a 20 supply lead.
Hero really relied on that Warp Prism to deal some damage, make it harder for SOS. SOS feeling he didn't need the Stalkers in the big engagement. Hero's going to try to engage into this once more, but
he wants to do this.
Everything is in favor of SOS, Ben. He has more Immortals, he has more Colossi, he has 1 Archon less, but that's about it. His army is just better, his upgrades are the same, he has Photon Overcharge, he's standing on top of a ramp. There's no way Hero's going to make something happen there.
I think Hero's better bet is probably going to be to back off and just max out. When both sides will once again be on even footing as Hero loses a Stalker to a lot of lasers.
He's researching thermal lens now as well, but it's going to be hard for Hero now to catch up in the Colossus count.
Yeah, it's tough, man. He might need a second Robo if he wants to try to do that. SOS systematically removing each pylon from the map that Hero had placed down.
I think what Hero tried to do there is like a good idea on maps like Belgium, where it's a lot harder to defend 3 bases because everything is so much further apart from each other, or maybe even something like Frost. But on Eckland, it's so easy to kind of just defend all 3 bases at once. And of course, SOS did that perfect, because sniping the Warp Prism took the true power out of this attack from Hero.
Yeah, a good idea on a map like Belshire, a great idea against an opponent of a lesser caliber, but SOS more than able to handle the multi-pronged aggression that Hero threw his way. Again, these players both expanding around the same time. Hero's 4th will be ever so slightly later.
Wow, that's a beautiful weapon.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with all that gas, SOS?
Says, I'm going to make Archons.
Well, that's going to bring him up to like 6 Archons or something like that.
This Stalker has been around for a while. Now it is down finally. He's seen things, Kev, and now he's going to be brought back as an immortal.
He thought about blinking away to safety one more time, but he was just out of power.
He was ready. This is time. 142 supply to 167. SOS enjoys a very real supply advantage, and that is a much scarier looking army to me.
I really like how this game is shaping up for SOS. Of course, this is still PvP, a bad engagement, and Time Warp can go down, and Hero can completely switch this around, but it is going to be hard. Stargates are going down. Now, this is a phase of the game where it gets interesting, but now SOS is dropping the defensive cannons as well. He doesn't want to have to worry about Dark Templars sniping everything on the other side of the map. And I think SOS is going to try to attack before Hero can really do something with this Stargate.
I think you're right on, man.
Which is most likely, you know, 4 Tempest, but I feel that SOS has an excellent read on this game. He knows where he's at. He knows that defending that push from Hero should have put him in a good position, and this is going to be very annoying for Hero.
Warp Prism unloads in the main base. SOS is moving towards the 3rd at the same time. Here comes that first big warp in. And Hero is in position to defend, but look at all the Zealots in his main. This is going to be brutal. Photon Overcharge has been used. Stalkers are blinking forward to try and save the day. The 4th base is completely exposed, and while this warp in will ultimately get cleaned up, it will be at great cost. Stalkers have fallen, probes have fallen, and that 4th expansion might go down, but SOS not willing to commit just yet.
It could have been worse for Hero, though. It could have been worse. He is still down 40 supply. Oh, nice feedback there on the Mothership core by SOS. That means that Hero won't have any Time Warps available, other than the Time Warp that he dropped. One High Templar might try to feedback the other one, but then he's like, man, I can't really feedback my own kind.
Yeah, SOS definitely getting the better of every end of this engagement. He's now maxed out, Kev. Hero's down 30 supply. How is he ever going to fight here? As we see him desperately trying to clear out his 4th base just so he can mine.
This is so beautiful by SOS, the way that he hits on the moment where Hero is the weakest, where Hero tries to transition. Hero lands a feedback there as well. I'm not sure on what it was. It might have been a Mothership core as well. Regardless, this army from SOS is still terrifying, and he's completely shutting down this 4th base.
Hero's just trying to max out, realizing that if he can max out, maybe he can fight, but it is so hard right now when he's down a base and behind in supply. SOS is being so careful about committing to this 4th, too. He knows that he can get trapped if he's not careful.
Feedback.
Ooh! Oh, that is
a small overkill over there.
Oh, that poor High Templar.
SOS still sending Zealots all around the map. He's just severely outmining Hero at the moment. Hero even dropping the fleet beacon in this phase of the game. I do think that's a cool move, because he probably realizes he's going to need something special to turn this one around. And with 1 or 2 Tempests, he might be able to absolutely crush SOS in a fight. But so far, SOS is playing this out brilliantly.
Oh, here comes SOS. He's going to try to funnel through this narrow choke. Hero, that was your opportunity to fight, man, and now he has an SOS in his 3rd base. SOS not willing to commit to the big fight, though. He's going to back off. Both these players taking their time, being very methodical.
12 Archons for SOS. Sweet Jesus.
Oh, and another big warp in the main. Hero can't catch a break. SOS constantly in his face. Zealot's being sent back to deal with it. Meanwhile, Hero trying to defend the 3rd base. Does get some good shots off on the Archons of SOS. SOS takes a lot of unanswered damage there.
But Hero can't really chase and go through that narrow choke, as you mentioned before as well.
You shall not pass, says one angry Zealot.
This is also kind of good news for SOS. He's forcing out so many defensive weapons for Hero that if they soon fight near the 4th base, not that the Hero's entire army is going to be there, SOS could definitely afford to just send 2 or 3 Archons to that 4th base and try to make something happen. I think that he's thinking about it. You don't want to send too much. He's perhaps going for one of these big engagements.
Yeah, he's going to push up into the natural expansion. Hero gets caught underneath the Time Warp. A great engagement for SOS. All of his Colossi able to fire, and Hero not really able to engage with his whole army. SOS still does not choose to commit.
With so much money in the bank, you would say, SOS, I think it's time to do something, because if Hero is somehow able to survive and stabilize up to the point where he gets 3 Tempests out, everything changes.
Another big warp in the main base. This time the warp prism's going to fall though, Kevin, and these zealots are kind of trapped in a really weird position. Stalker's slowly pecking away. A single Colossus going to try to come forward. Oh, SOS, you are playing a dangerous game, putting your Colossi out in front like that. Here's the first Tempest, and it will get a few shots off, and this is enough to chase SOS away.
Wrecking balls. That Tempest came in like a wrecking ball. You know, I really think SOS missed a small window of opportunity here, Ben, because he was doing such a fantastic job at shutting down his fort base. Now he's dropping 2 Stargates on his own. He is still way richer than Hero throughout the entire game. He has been mining more, he's been slightly more cost effective as well. But now Hero with that Tempest lead, and 3 Stargates going down. But I really think SOS should have sent 2 Archons and a Colossi to that fort base. That would have still put him in a great defensive position to shut down anything that Hero would try to walk down of that ramp. But it would also completely shut down this fort base. And now, despite not being able to defend and enter that fort base, Hero was still able to mine from it. And I feel that SOS messed up there a little bit.
SOS is he's going to have a very awkward army. 11 Archons and 7 Colossi are going to make the Tempest of Hero so much stronger.
Great.
See some DT harass there.
Yeah, great Zealot wipe. A couple of Dark Templars are able to sneak perhaps into the main base. I do think there is a cannon down. Hero's already thrown down additional cannons, as he is definitely worried about having to deal with stuff like this. But still, these Dark Templars could definitely kind of throw him off a little bit as well.
Kill a few pylons here and there. That's just annoying. Hero will deal with it, but definitely.
I don't understand why SOS is so eager to kill this 3rd base rather than the 4th. He has enough energy to recall out as well if he would just send his Banshee Fort to the high ground. It's always a risky move, of course, relying on the recall, certainly in PvP or especially in PvP. But still, Hero's army, Ben.
This game has just gotten so crazy. Hero with the larger army, Kev. He's got 147 against 139 army supplies because he's got a few fewer probes. Man, I'm not sure what I think. How many observers does SOS have?
SOS 0. Hero 2. I mean, Hero is getting active now with his army in the middle of the map because he's like, hey, I got Tempest and you probably don't, right? But by the time they will fight, SOS should have 3 Tempests, which is not 4, but still 3 is something that you can work with as well. It's 7 Colossi though for SOS against 5. There is a single Oracle as well using Revelation. It did get sniped off, but still, Revelation is so nice right now.
Wow.
Oh my
This allows
god.
the Tempest and Hero to use their max range. SOS can't see these guys. And Hero making his way into the 3rd expel. The Tempests are so slow.
Monish, of course, might actually go to fall. That first time I kind of whistled SOS, but he might be able to land another one on top of the army.
Hero's army looks pretty scary right now, Kevin. There's, okay, now a single observer being built for SOS.
Small upgrade advantage for SOS, so he has +1 armor, +1 air weapons, and +1 shield.
Messed up. Zealot's going to charge into the 3rd base of SOS. They will kill a lot of probes. It's just going to make SOS's army bigger. I'm not sure if that's the best choice for Hero.
What a great way to start off BlizzCon 2013 over here with a pretty crazy PvP on Echelon. Of course, such an important series once more. There is no loser bracket in this tournament, so every single map is so extremely crucial. We are playing best of 5. The loser can go home.
And Hero goes all the way back, choosing not to take any engagements, allowing SOS a 5th base, and also allowing SOS to stabilize and build a larger army.
This was a scary phase for SOS, but he survived it then, and now once more I feel he's in a pretty good position because he has an additional base, he has better upgrades, he has map control once more, he has more Stargate. You could say everything is going SOS's way.
Hero's building probes, Kev, of all things. Feeling that he needs to replace a few, I guess. I mean, he is behind in terms of the amount that he's mined overall. But SOS, man, with his larger army.
I love how both players adding in an Oracle as well for the people who are confused why the Oracle in this phase of the game. Casting Revelation is extremely important as your Tempest can shoot further than they see. So if you're able to land a Revelation on their army, you will be able to see it all the time. As both of these players are too good to just have observers hovering around.
Oh, man.
And Oracle is definitely the way to go, and that's a great Revelation.
All over the army of Hero. He has no choice but to retreat. He's going to take a lot of damage as he runs away. He's also going to leave his 5th base completely
the Oracle
exposed. Both players losing oracles, and now Hero's going to turn and fight, and his Archons have a great concave, and he is going to lay into SOS. with the full strength of his army, but Kevin, I don't think he's got nearly enough. Look at the army of Hero melting away.
Unbelievable fight there by SOS. Of course, he has the upgrade advantage, but still, that was hard, man. All those immortals just perfectly lined up. The Tempest shooting down everything they can shoot down at once, and all of the Archons did that job. They soaked up a lot of damage, and they dealt a little bit of damage as well. Look at the army that remains after that spike. This is the guy, Ben, that was fantastic in the Pro League all year long.
3 little Dark Templar chasing SOS away. It's going to give Hero some time, but I don't know if it's going to matter, as he is now down over 70 army supply, and that was a massively cost-effective fight for SOS.
You know, those are the fights, Ben, that I've seen SOS make so many times in those Pro League games where, of course, he played a crazy amount of PvPs in Pro League as well, and SOS and Rain were truly ahead of their time back then, with perfect engagements throughout the entire season. Of course he was in a good position, of course he was richer, but still, that was an extremely one-sided engagement.
Yeah, Hero is obviously in a terrible position here, as Dark Templar is going to make his way to the back of this 5th base. Maybe we'll kill some probes, but the sad truth is there is no answer to the army of SOS, as it is crashing into the natural expansion of Hero. Gateways, stargates, and yes, even the army of Hero just disintegrating under the focused fire of SOS's troops.
SOS confident enough to just pick out everything this time. He's even going to blink forward with a couple of remaining blink stalkers that survived throughout the entire game. And SOS will take game number 1 on Achelan, a map that Hero traditionally performs extremely well on.